Chris at SNIOS approached me with an idea for a very ambitious project working in the Outer Hebrides for me to compose a piece of music that was using the ideas of pupils from Liniclate High School in Benbecula to generate those ideas to run creative composition workshops with students at the high school. And then I took all those ideas away and rustled them up into this piece that we've created, Anticipation of the Light.
I'm from Uist. I've been playing the accordion and the piano for about 8 years. I'm at St Mary's Music School in Edinburgh at the moment. I've been involved in this project at the school here from the beginning, and so it was really good fun having quite a few of the musicians in the school and getting us to do various musical things.
We discussed themes with the young people. We were thinking about emotion because that seemed to be a really strong pull in the other music that they liked listening to.
I play the flute and I'm going into my last year at Trinity Laban Conservatoire of Music and Dance. I've done the children's orchestra and the youth orchestra, and this is my first time doing Camerata.
Didn't really know what we'd be working with and that because I personally have never seen an orchestra, so I didn't know what kind of to expect. We saw a flautist and a violinist and celloist, so it was kind of good to see what we were kind of working with.
We basically worked out ideas with them, starting with the Bartók Romanian dances and the modes. Just kind of through simple composition ideas and games, came up with melodies.
They picked one of the more unusual Arabian-influenced modes that Bartók's used. They really liked that sound, and so you'll hear that in the piece as well, that they've used that to build up their own melodies and little motifs.
They were really lovely kids, very well behaved up in Uist. We split them in groups. We literally left it to them almost. We gave them a few hints, but they came up with the music, which was great. Eve recorded it, we wrote it down, we compiled it all, and Eve went away and composed this great piece for us.
So the other strand in the outreach side of this project has been for me to help train or give skills to the Camerata players so that they can plan and deliver workshops in all the primary schools on Uist and Benbecula. That's gone down very well. I think it's so useful for musicians at this stage when they're about to really go out and be freelance musicians. You need that skill set with you as well. The interesting thing has been kind of raising their kind of aspiration as to what quality we're going for and that kind of professional level that is expected by Garry and by everybody that's involved. I think we pushed them quite hard, but just having spoken to them after the dress rehearsal, I think they're really pleased that they've managed to go through that kind of barrier of expectations in themselves, and I think that's been really exciting.
My initial thoughts were that the rehearsals are very fast-paced, especially with Garry, which is great. You get through a lot of music and quickly you learn a lot.
Having it here is quite extraordinary, really, and playing with them is probably even better and it was really different, just even with the conductor, because I never thought having bars in our music was so important.
I've worked off and on with the orchestra for the last 12 years now, with Camerata 2 or 3 times and with the main orchestra 2 or 3 times. So, and it's always great to come back and work with the orchestra because it kind of feels like it's part of my DNA. We have provided something here that is a unique experience, and surely that is the nature of good education, is to provide extraordinary events. That's what makes people think in different ways. It opens their eyes and hopefully their ears. That is one of the golden things about this project, is that they have now worked with an orchestra. Most important thing for me when I work with these people is to try and teach them really to listen, really listening to the scent of the sound and bow distribution, the bow weight, everything, making sure that it's absolutely the same. It takes a lot of time. I would hope that that would be one of the things that they've again learned from this week, it's that they have to listen to each other. That's what regulates the tempo. I mean, it's something we always have to work on. We don't listen well, but that is what we are here to do.
It was good, different. It was a good experience. I really enjoyed it. Amazing to see like people that are so good at these instruments, and it's kind of making me want to start maybe one of them, especially probably a flute. So it'd be really good to.
So it was nice to play things to them and let them hear how it sounds and the different sounds it can make, and try and, you know, maybe let them think about maybe that's something they'd like to do.
This project's been really good. We don't get anything like this very often, and so when I start getting a prolific composer up and seeing the stages that she goes through to write pieces, that's been really interesting. That learning from that, I haven't done much playing with an orchestra, and lots of people in the school haven't done much of that, so it's been a really good experience.
Uist is such a beautiful place. It's the first time I've been on the Outer Hebrides. To play in such a beautiful setting is fantastic, and all the kids in the workshops that we did were quite wide-eyed and enthusiastic, so that was lovely. Everybody's been very welcoming, and it's been great to play here.